So I want to talk about who I was in 1995. It was Friday night, high school football. I played tailback, and we were playing the corn-fed country boys of Freedom, Oklahoma. It was third quarter, and we were getting our butts kicked up and down the football field. And I remember we were going to run off tackle, and I vowed in my head, I am not going down this play. By sheer willpower, I am going to that end zone. And I broke my tib fib. Then I tried to stand up on my tib fib. It was very, very ugly. And I tell you that because I will never forget the medic that night tapping that needle and looking at me and saying, "Don't worry, kid, it's my first time." And a grizzled old fireman leaning down as they're all getting ready to pick me up and put me on that backboard, stick me on that stretcher. He had the typical fireman mustache, and he said, "Are you tough, kid? Because we're about to find out." And that impacted me. They'd said those probably dozens of times to lots of scared kids with broken limbs. They were calculated. But it made such an impact on me that 2 years later, I was a rookie on the Moore Fire Department. And I was a fired up rookie, ready to go impact lives and ready to change lives. And I wish I could say that it was a straight line path from that rookie to the man that's standing up here talking to you today. But that is not the case. Because somewhere along the lines, I lost that fire, that passion, that desire to make a difference, to make an impact. I cooled down. And it's something we see in the fire service. Probationary classes coming in, fired up, ready to go, raring to make a difference. And then 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, losing that passion. And then on the far end of the spectrum, the other side, you have a veteran, 15, 20 years, 22 years on the job. He's checked out, burnout, just trying to make it to retirement. And something comes along, and all of a sudden he attends a class or catches a conference, and he fires back up. Much more rare than the rookies cooling down, but it does happen. And then there's all in between on the spectrum. And I wanted to look at that and investigate that and say, what can we find out by looking at these two things and everything in between? Is there some sort of clue or tool we can use to look in the mirror at ourselves and say, where's my passion at? Where has it gone? How can I improve it? Who's ready to have their mind blown? You guys ready for this? What is it? There you go. Year one, day one, all right? 3 sides. We take a side away, what happens? Fire goes out. Take the other side away, fire goes out, right? We don't really take the heat away so much. What do? We're awesome. We come in, we cool it down, then the fire goes out. Really simple concept, 3 sides. You have to have all 3 to have a fire, right? Fire triangle, we all know it. I want to talk today about the passion triangle. That tool we can use to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, where is my passion at? How can I make it better? So let's get going. I'm going to start with the heat side of the passion triangle. I call it the calling. What do I mean by the calling? It's our why. It's our connection to why we do this job. It's our belief that we are here for them. We do this for others. It's a belief that we know that what happens in the classroom, the weight room, the training room, the drill tower, all those things matter so that one day, someday, I can pull a kid out of a smoke-filled window. That's what those rookies come in with, just a high degree of heat. That faith in the calling, that that what we do makes such a difference that they're going to have an impact. And that's the heat of the passion triangle, our why. Which takes us to the fuel. 3 sides. We got the heat on the one side, the calling. That's our why. Then we have the fuel. And this is good news, bad news. I call it the wheel. And the bad news of it is, we are the fuel. This job is the greatest job on earth, best job I ever had. You get a chance to make a difference in people's lives, make an impact, make a difference to a scared kid laying on a football field with a broken leg. But it does have a price, and we are the fuel for doing this job. Whether you call it drive, toughness, or your very soul, there is a cost for doing it. Who here has ever worked with a burnout medic, burnout firefighter? I think everybody has a story about one. They've given it up. I mean, they've done the job too long. They've given all they've got. And it's not pleasant to be with them around the station. It's not pleasant with them to be with them on a call. It's not pleasant for the patient or the victims that we deal with. But even though this is the greatest job on earth, there is a price we pay to do it. And whether that price is the scream of a mother who just found out her kids aren't making it, whether it is the sickly, sweet smell of alcohol mixed with blood, mixed with antifreeze, soaking into asphalt, or whether it is unfolding the bodies of children from an elementary school that was just leveled by an F5 tornado. There is a very dark price to do this job. You're like, oh, thought you said good news, bad news. So there is some good news, guys. When you're talking about the fire triangle, you're talking about the fuel, it's a reducing agent. It just gets burned up, turned into heat, light, energy, smoke, and goes away. Right? When we're talking about the passion triangle, we're not finite. We are not burn up. We can recharge our batteries and have more to give to do this great job. But you need one of these at least. All of them are better. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form on mental health. But I know you need faith, family, or friends to recharge your batteries to do this job. Faith, you have to have a belief in something bigger than yourself. Family keeps it all in perspective. It lets you know what's important as you do this job. And then friends, both inside the service and outside of the service, that you can talk to about doing this. And that is how you can recharge your batteries so that you have it to give to do this great job. And that moves us on to the final side of the passion triangle. And I call it the others. So we have the heat, that's the wheel, or the calling. You got the fuel, that's our wheel. And then the others. So what I mean by others, it's the outside influences. What happens to a fire when you have less than 16% oxygen? There ain't no fire. Make it a little smoldering maybe. So let's take that rookie. He's got high heat, right? He's not been used up. He's got lots to give. Let's stick him at a station. The burnout captain, checked out lieutenant. Firefighters would rather be 10 toes up. Hey kid, calm down. You're making us look bad. Come on, relax. We make the same whether we make rides or don't. He's vent limited. High heat, high fuel, no oxygen. He will go out. If you are a chief officer or a manning officer that puts a rookie in that situation, first of all, shame on you. If you are that firefighter stuck in that situation, you must find air. Get on YouTube, watch some fire talks. Get to your conference. Get with your local fools. Catch a class. You must find air so that your passion can burn. I want to go back and talk about that veteran for a minute. The one at the beginning. Anybody ever been camping? Make your fire the night before, right? Go to bed, fire banks down, you wake up in the morning, you got coals that look like this in the fire pit, right? First thing you do, you go over there and you poke it with a stick, maybe blow on it. It'll fire up a little bit. A little heat left in there, right? This is that veteran. He still has a little spark, a little ember down very deep. Maybe he's lost touch with it a little bit, but it's still down in there. And he's still got something left to give. He's not burnt out completely. All he needs is that little breath of air. Rookie young guy coming to a station saying, hey, Cap, can we go throw ladders? LT, can we go out back, stretch hose? That's that. And he slowly burns back. Maybe he catches a class now, maybe a conference. And that's how that veteran, after so long, can fire back up. Last thing to touch on, and I'll wrap this up. Hazmat, 9 classes. Who can tell me what this one is? Number 5, the oxidizers, right? When I went through tech, they said, yes, it's a yellow placard. Treat it like a faded orange placard. Explosives go boom. Oxidizers go boom. As firemen, fire triangle, oxidizer is something we don't want to deal with. It's a dangerous, dangerous thing to deal with, correct? When we're talking about the passion triangle, this is dangerous for your passion. This is someone so fired up that they intensify everybody around them. This is what you want to be. You want to be an oxidizer, someone who has the fuel to give everybody else around them and intensify their flame. And that is what I call understanding the fire. The 3 sides, the calling, that's the heat. The will, that's the fuel. And the others, the outside influences, that's the air, so that we can burn with passion. That's what I looked at, that's what I investigated, that's what I figured out and present to you guys today so that we can look in the mirror and figure out, do we have the heat? Are we still connected to why we do this job? Do we understand that we're here for them, for others, making a difference, making an impact? It is the best job I ever had. And it has its price. How is your battery level? Are you connected to your faith, your family, and your friends so that you can keep your batteries charged up to do this job? And finally, check your O2 level. Are you vent limited? And my last question to you is, are you an oxidizer for those around you? And if not, why not? Thank you, guys.